Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video, yet another upload, and today we are talking about the Bleach Feature Festival again. This time we've had the reveals, we had this teaser image yesterday. We could basically tell who all the characters were, but now we've got some more confirmation on who the characters are, which parts of the story they're from, and what their roles will be in this event. So to get things started, this is quite nice. We have a 500 Ruby login bonus. This, even though it's called the Bleach, like countdown to Bleach, whatever, strictly speaking, this is not tied into the Bleach login bonus. It's completely separate. So if the Bleach login bonus comes up tomorrow, we're assuming we're going to get the full event news tomorrow. If that comes up tomorrow and that also has rubies in it, you're going to be getting 500 before the event even starts, and then more to come. I've heard some theories on why that might be, because they're just kind of giving us 500. They gave us 722 for the Twitter line crossover thing for One Piece, giving us a lot of rubies. I think it's partially due to the fact that a lot of players are fed up with back-to-back feature festivals, and they're probably not going to be happy about the fact that Saint Seiya is most likely coming after this. Though I will say, there is a very good chance that if they had something else planned for just after Saint Seiya, that was like an ensemble or whatever, they might push that forward. And they might pull that forward, push Saint Seiya back. Because I have seen... Bro, when we started seeing the first initial post that it was Bleach, the amount of fucking salty people I saw on Twitter, like, wow, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Bleach, Gintama, One Piece, like, I can understand. And, I do understand, because I would prefer to have a bit more variety, but, Bleach is kind of my thing, yeah. Bleach is like, look, like, most kids in the UK watched Dragon Ball growing up. If they had the channel that had Dragon Ball on it, they were probably watching Dragon Ball when they were a kid. But Bleach was like one of the first series I read when I was getting back into like anime, manga and stuff as like in like my early teens. Bleach was my jam, bro. I was like, no, that One Piece thing with a pirate, that looks stupid. That Naruto thing, it looks stupid. In my defense, the only things I would see of them were the shitty like dub adverts on TV, and they look so dumb. But I was so into Bleach, so got a little soft spot right here. Got a little soft spot. You can't see where I'm pointing. I'm pointing at my heart. Soft spot in my heart. Now, the first event we're going to talk about. Since that day, you have been everything to me in the world. This is worded really awkwardly, but this is actually the direct quote from the Viz manga. So, not really on me, though I may reword it when I do the event post. I haven't decided yet. So, we get to see Kenpachi and Yachiru here. Kenpachi is not farmable. He is a gacha unit, but he is the boss for this stage, and you farm him to get Yachiru. Kind of weird, this event isn't really anything specific. If I had to categorize it, it's like a Transcendent, I guess. I mean, we don't have all the info, but like, it's a crystal farming event. But you can also farm the character. She drops a 5-star. There's no evolvers. Like, I don't know what. It's just it's a Transcendent. It's basically a Transcendent event. Cool to see her added, because I thought probably she wouldn't get in until I saw the teaser. But first thing of note is that these are seemingly not the 1000 Year Blood War versions of the characters. I suppose it could be the 1000 Year Blood War Yachiru. I don't know. But it's definitely not the 1000 Year Blood War Kenpachi. So, interesting. And Kenpachi is red, Yachiru is red. Now, you have the Transcendent class event, Tsukishima's stage. Are you doubting your own past? I actually couldn't find the original quote for this one. So I just kind of had to guess. I knew roughly what it was trying to say, but if you don't know about Tsukishima's powers, he can sort of stab people with a sword that's also a book, and it's not a Zanpakuto. It's not related to the Shinigami powers. It's a full bring, and he inserts himself into their past. He alters their past, but it's also like, it's not like altering memories. It's genuinely changing what happened. Which makes his power set really cool, which is why I'm kind of disappointed he's a Transcendent and not Ultimate, because I kind of thought he'd be an Ultimate, Gingio would be a Catastrophe. Hey, you know what? It's fine. It's cool he's being added. 4 brings a little bit of a weird arc because there's a lot of cool ideas at play. There's a lot of characters that I do not dislike, but Chad gets a lot of screen time, who I do like. But there's this whole, like... I don't know how much I want to explain it, because if you haven't read it, it's kind of spoilers, but I'll say a little bit. Basically, they're building up Ichigo getting his powers back for a long time. And he's like getting these new forms, new abilities, and it finally looks like he's building towards like this new thing because he lost his powers after the battle with Aizen. And then it's like, lol, no powers for you. And then the way he gets his powers back, even though he doesn't actually get them back, he gets new powers gifted to him. Is from the other Soul Reapers returning from the Soul Society. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. But we have Tsukishima. It's kind of cool he's been at it. It's kind of cool. If you know, at least we're getting something out of this arc, because I don't think they're going to cover it that much. I think we might... I don't know. We might get like Riruka. Maybe Yukio. I can't see much else from this arc being added. But hey, you never know. You never know. The next event, Gingio. Gingio is blue. The event is called Now It's Our Turn to Bite Back. Did find a quote for this one. That's an official Viz translation right there. Only an ultimate. Only an ultimate. I should scroll down a little bit. Which is strange because that would suggest that he's not going to be countered by a catastrophe. He's not going to be countered by a limited. So... bit odd. A bit odd. Because, well, I mean, it's just really kind of making a Fullbring arc like, this is not important. Move this to the side. This is just something that's happening. It's not important. But it's okay. It's okay. Some of the ultimate characters are pretty usable. I'm hoping he's pretty good, but he's got no costume. I'm assuming that this is going to be the only version of Gingio we're getting, and he's going to transform when he uses his special into his other form. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's nice they've at least touched on this arc, because I think, you know, even though I wanted it to be all 1000-year Blood War, this is not a bad little bit. This is not a bad little bit. We have Juha Bach, the Catastrophe class event. Now let's hear the report for peace. Or now let's hear the... I don't know. It's an awful quote. They could have chosen any quote for him. They chose such an awful quote. This is from when he's taking over Hueco Mundo, and he's talking to like some terrified Arankar, and he's basically saying, I detest fighting, I detest war. Let's hear your report for peace, or whatever. It's a man. I can't tell if Viz has just butchered the translations, but I looked at the fan translation, and it's the same sort of thing. Like, they chose a bad quote for that one. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, the event is hype. He's going to be a catastrophe. He's going to have an aura costume. I'm hoping he's going to be pretty decent. I think we already have I mean, we've got a buffer for green. I know we've got a Kaza for green. But I can't remember, do we get an ultimate buffer and a attack buffer for both? And if so, do we have both for green? I don't know. But he's kind of like... I'm kind of hoping he's pretty decent. Because he could well be my new like green lead. Could well be. If he's good. Yeah, we've got Shigaraki as well, don't we? What does Shigaraki do? Is he a weakener buffer? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just hoping he's good. I'm hoping he's good. Next up, this was something we were wondering about. We have right there Score Challenge. it is part of the Bleach event. It is a new game mode. It's listed as like challenge in the same way that we've had challenge stages before. And score challenges, what is it? I don't know. You have to earn points by doing stuff. It's not missions, it's like, I don't know, guidelines? I don't know what you call it. But it's like, fit these certain criteria and you will win rewards. And the reward is Kurotsuchi. I don't know how hard it's going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty hard. Like, normally if a stage comes out and it says something along the lines of, like, challenge or whatever, it's pretty hard. But yeah, I don't know. It's a completely new piece of content. I don't know what the rewards are going to be like beyond Mayuri. I don't know what the... I don't know how difficult it's going to be. But something to consider is we only have one limited for this event. And there's only one catastrophe for this event. So, if they were going to add another limited, it would probably be to counter this stage. If not a limited, then perhaps a... I don't know, like a boost gacha or something like that. But I don't really know who you would put to beat him, because this particular version of Kurotsuchi Mayuri is... Well, the quote is from his battle against Sayela Poro, who I do not see being added. He could have made a pretty good event unit, but I can't really see him being added as a gacha unit, so... I don't know. I don't know. But I'm intrigued to find out, and I'm sure we're going to find out sooner rather than later. As you can see, peeking from the bottom of the screen there, this is our new limited character, Genryusei Shigakuni Yamamoto, or Captain Yamamoto, the big bad boss. The thing is, with General Yamamoto, I was kind of hyped for him to be a limited, and the only reason I wouldn't have pulled on him was if Unohana was the other limited, because I would have been so torn. But because it seems to just be him, I think I'm going to have to go in. There's also something to be said about the sprites, which I'll talk about once we've seen all of them. But we'll move on to the next character. Now, all the characters below, we are assuming, because we have no reason to believe otherwise, that they are standard gacha units. None of them are going to be limited. That could be wrong, but that's what we're assuming. So let's have a look. We have Soifon, who I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with how the sprite looks. I'm happy she's been added. And something to bear in mind, obviously, this version of Yamamoto is from 1000 Year Blood War. This version of Soifon seemingly is not. This is from earlier. We discussed this before. The arcs are kind of all over the place for this event. They do this with a lot of the events. I don't mind it, but I feel like Bleach was one of the ones where you easily could have had hype, gacha, hyper events, hype, everything, just focusing on 1000 Year Blood War. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with them not doing that. There's nothing wrong with them not doing that. Soifon is the only character we don't know the colour for. I mean, we could guess, but she's the only character we don't know. So, I don't know. Next up, we have Kenpachi, who obviously we saw in the event image earlier. And it's a very early version of Kenpachi, but still the sprite is very nice, very well made. And I assume they have gone with a much earlier version of Kenpachi, because we are undoubtedly going to be getting the 1000 Year Blood War one at a later date. It is enough of a form change and enough of a different appearance and set of skills and whatever. There's no way they wouldn't release that if they had the option. Then actually, his sword doesn't look as beat up as it should, I don't think. I remember his sword looking way more beat up than that, but that might just be from the anime, I don't remember. Next up, we have version 2, Byakuya Kuchiki. He looks kind of good. You can see the next character there. It's fine. He looks pretty good. This is I think on Bleach Brave Souls and on the Bleach wiki they refer to it as the Lost Agents arc. I don't know, or Fullbring arc or whatever. I don't know. But this is like the Lost Agents version of Byakuya Kuchiki. A very nice sprite, bro. You compare this to his old sprite, that is crazy different. It looks so good. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. I know a lot of people are going to want to put it. And again, I wasn't too sure about the name. I know what they're trying to say. I didn't really know how to translate it to sound good. To sound good. Like if you haven't read the arc, the whole thing about Byakuya Kuchiki's powers up until that point is that he has like a safe zone wherein close to him his blades don't come near him, because he can break all his blades into little, that's his Shikai, he breaks into a bunch of little blades that look like falling cherry blossoms, hence the name. And he doesn't let the blades get too close to him. He has this like little gap around him, which is obviously, strictly speaking, a weak point, but it's how he stops himself from dying when a bunch of blades come flying past him. But yeah, in the Lost Agents version, he lets the blades get very close, because that's the only way he is able to get an upper hand on his enemy. So, a cool power up, a cool sprite, very nice. I know tons of people are going to be going ham for Byakuya, so hey, can't blame you. Can't blame you. And lastly, we have Ichigo. Again, I didn't know how to word that. Like, I know exactly what they mean. I didn't know how to word it. But this version of Ichigo is not actually Fullbring Ichigo, weirdly. It's like the powers that have been entrusted to him by the other Shinigami. But it's in the Fullbringer's arc where he gets the Fullbringer's powers, but it's after he's lost those powers. So technically this is his new Shikai, which he's then going to replace with another new Shikai later. Or is this a Bankai? I don't even... Look, no, this is the Bankai, I think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Legit, the only purpose that arc served was to introduce the concept of Fullbring and to give Ichigo a reason to not be sitting on the sidelines anymore. That is it. Nothing else of importance was gained or lost. So, hey, bro, the sprite looks so good. It looks so good. I know some people say, oh, Jumputi, all the characters got fat heads, all the characters are called chibi or whatever. Tell me that doesn't look good. Tell me. Now, one of the things I wanted to say was, I mentioned it in one of the previous videos, it seems like they had planned for January, 1 year after the Bleach Festival #1, they had planned a 1,000-Year Blood War, no, not 1,000-Year Blood War, an end of the Arrancar arc, Bleach Feature Festival, Bleach Feature Festival #2. They definitely had that plan. I am so certain they had that plan, and they scrapped it. It was going to be Catastrophe Aizen versus Limited Ichigo Mugetsu. I think we were going to get all the characters we got up until now, so Kisuke Urahara, Gin Ichimaru, Rangiku Matsumoto, Kaname Tosen, plus this Soifon was almost definitely one of those characters. Now, I will say, all these other characters in that case have been developed since that plan to scrap the old event. So they said, alright, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We're going to scrap, we're going to move Ichigo to New Year, scrap the event, make Aizen gacha, and then we're going to take these other characters and just fucking scatter them everywhere. I have a feeling there are more characters from that event that we haven't seen yet that will be released later, and we might see gaps in the IDs for these characters when we get a data download to further solidify that idea. But I'm pretty sure that Isshin Kurosaki was in there somewhere. I don't know who else. I mean, there's a lot of characters from that arc that are suitable. But I don't know. But you can definitely tell, there's a few different ways you can tell that these sprites are way more recent. For a start, this is gonna sound so bad. Yamamoto has toes. A lot of the earlier characters don't have toes and pronounced fingers on their hands. They have mittens and they have weird lumps for feet. Not the case for Yamamoto. Not the case. This is a much more recently designed sprite, a very nice looking sprite. I can't wait to see it in action. And the same could be said for these other ones. Like Soifon, if you look right, the shading on Bleach characters tends to be a lot harsher. Soifon's is not that harsh, which makes me think that she was part of that earlier batch. She was developed for the Feature Festival in January. If you look at the shading on Kenpachi, I know he's literally quite a rugged gentleman, but the shading is a lot more harsh to show those defined lines. That's what I think. Byakuya is a lot more soft looking, but you can tell because of the difference in detail. Plus, those fingers I see are those fingers. To be fair, Soifon does have fingers, so maybe she was developed later. It's not impossible. But it does raise a question about what role she played. And another question could be had about Kurotsuchi. To me, that sprite looks a little bit old. Look at him compared to Juha Bach. I know it's a little bit hard from the images we have, and I know the way Miuri's designed means that he's always going to kind of look a little bit odd. But I think those sprites clearly, they look like they're from different games, bro. They look like they're from different fucking games. I think all the Fullbringers have been made since that decision to scrap that other event. I don't know about Yachiru. Like, if it turns out she's like... Does she even really have a role in the Rancor arc? I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But there's definitely something to bear in mind. And if you look at that Ichigo, bro, look at that sprite. There's no way. There's no way. Those, like... The amount of detail they put into capturing Kubo's art style through the different versions of Ichigo, oh, I love it so, bro. I love this game so much sometimes. It looks so sick. Now, I will say, I don't think this is everything there is to this event, because we still have a Metal Shop unit to be announced most likely tomorrow, because it's going to be for the shop rotation on August 1st. So probably tomorrow. We still need a tower unit that's probably going to be announced later in the week. I think they normally get announced Friday. So probably Friday. And I don't know. Like, we don't have like a Legends Summon announced. We still haven't seen the gacha image. Like, there's still information to be had that we don't have. I think there's potential. There's potential here. I won't say that we're definitely gonna get more, because if we don't, then yikes. But it's possible. Anyway, I've done enough waffling. There's gonna be more news tomorrow, so I'll have time to talk about that then. And that'll be it for this video. I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me know in the comments if you're pulling, and if you are pulling, who are you pulling for? And I'll let you know who I'm pulling for when I figure it out.